Today's video is for those of you who've started noticing that what we've been taught doesn't quite add up to the reality we're living in. From the realization that the so-called American dream was crafted to turn us into modern-day debt slaves, to the unsettling idea that our very history is being rewritten, to the so-called the Mandela effect. Sounds crazy, right? Well, here are some examples that might make you think twice.
An artist from back then named Perry Lonica, right? He had claimed that there's many layers under St. Michael's, y'all. This painting is called Dante's Hell, right, y'all? And I just find it funny that this shit was way back then, and he basically illustrated Hollow Earth. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out is this. You peep how that's like the sun it looked like? Hold on, I took a screenshot and zoomed in so y'all can see. They was basically saying that there's different levels underneath us, y'all. And that there's something at the bottom of there, and there's also another sun. It's also funny that in the Bible it stated that there's a place called Sheol. That's like an inner earth. Like some type of hell on earth, inside of the earth though. And I know y'all remember the Hollow Earth scene when King Kong was falling. You can see the sun right there. Is it just a coincidence when you go on Google and you look up Hollow Earth entrances, right? And you see this, and there's a sun in the middle. There's literally places around the world where they said that you can walk to this place, but it takes miles and miles and miles. Like imagine walking downwards to the ocean beyond. So y'all just gotta think, yo. Is this far-fetched? Yo, I'm back on my shit.
This shit out 1890 something. Right, you see that depicted of the slaves right there, the guy with the wheelbarrow and the Indian heads? See that? But wait, there's more. I'm gonna show you that it depicts of what's going on right now. Right here in this one, right? You're gonna see the fall of the music industry as it's a record player. That's the Brooklyn Bridge crumbling. That's New York getting hit by a wave. For death and destruction, so we can start over.
This is Seattle, Washington. We were told that they had to raise the streets and level certain areas, and just looking like an absolute reset wasteland, like the ground has been sucked away. But what interested me most about this very, very early photo of Seattle, Washington, was this little skyscraper back here. Look at this thing. This is the earliest photo of Seattle. Most people might be looking at this house or this one. These men down here. It looks like the gallows or something right in the center here. Is somebody hanging? Zoom in a little more. But what I noticed in the earliest photo we can see is a full-blown city back here. Skyscrapers. And then this one. Hello. What is this? I mean, looking as modern as anything today.
Hey, truth seekers. You know what's wild? This wouldn't be their first rodeo when it comes to cover-ups and crafting those perfectly packaged official stories. But here's the game changer. We're living in the age of information, and for the first time in history, we're all investigators. We've been collecting these puzzle pieces for years, each of us finding our own little fragments of truth. And now we're finally connecting those dots, putting this massive picture together. And let me tell you, what we're about to uncover in this video, well, let's just say the truth has been hiding in plain sight all along. Ready to see how deep this rabbit hole goes? Let's dive in. Stick around, because this is where it gets really interesting.
New discovery in ancient France that you're going to want to see. The wildest thing is it's only understandable from the sky. This is the astrogeometry of Karnak. The stones are 7,000 years old. There's 4,000 of them between 40 and 350 tons. This is the last time we did that. These stones are arranged in very neat lines across the landscape. They can't be used for agriculture. If you take a picture of the sun at the same time every day, it forms this infinity sign shape. For a seasonal calendar, this can be achieved with a really long stick. The angle of the stones is achieved using 3 perfect squares connected end to end. That is exactly half of a 3-4-5 triangle like you learned in school to create perfect right angles. The Sumerians were the first to document the use of this triangle, but now we have one that's 2,000 years older than that. The Karnak cornerstones create the 3-square triangle and the 3-4-5 right triangle. Did this using huge stones over 1,400 meters. Stonehenge was built 1,000 years later. For that story to work, we have to assume there were ancient cave geometers. So what do these angles mean, and what was the use for this precise geometry? Well, Angkor Wat and the Great Pyramid also use this technique. That explanation is going to need a part 2. Because to pull this off, you have to know what we didn't know. They used simple geometry.
What time is it?
Sir, 1:30.
How you know?
This is it, 6, phonics 6, half an hour, so 7:30, big spoke to 3 hours, so small spoke half an hour, sight is 60 dot, easy ball 3 minutes, light falling 1:30 clocks.
Now, that sure looks like a watch. But here's the real question. What do we really know about time? Is it as straightforward as they've led us to believe? Let's dive into this next video and uncover some mind-blowing truths about time itself. Buckle up, because this one's going to make you question everything.
I've got some really interesting news that's going to kick off your weekend. There has been a new archaeological find that really throws a spanner in the works for the history of humankind. Near this beautiful 700-foot waterfall in Zambia in Africa, archaeologists have found the remains of a 500,000-year-old man-made wooden structure. Man-made, 500,000 years ago, made of wood. Previously, early humans have been found to have used wood, but in things sort of like tools and sticks and making fire, not building buildings. Also, at 500,000 years old, we're talking pre-human humans, because the oldest human skeleton that we found is 300,000 years old. So either pre-humans were building buildings, or humans go back more than 300,000 years. It makes us question just how nomadic were early humans if they're building permanent structures.
Congratulations, you've made it, truth seekers. You're now at the final piece of this mind-bending puzzle. Well, at least for now. If your mind is as blown as I think it is, smash that like button and hit subscribe. Because trust me, we're just getting started on this wild journey of discovery. Let's keep diving down these rabbit holes together. There's so much more to uncover. We can't wait to see you in the next one, where we'll peel back even more layers of reality.
The phantom time hypothesis? It's a theory that suggests we've been living a lie. The hypothesis is a historical conspiracy theory proposed by German historian Heribert Illig in 1991. According to Illig, we are not living in the 21st century, but rather in the 18th century. Sounds crazy, right? The theory suggests that the early Middle Ages, 614 through 911 AD, never happened and were fabricated by the Holy Roman Emperor Otto III, Pope Sylvester II, and possibly the Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII. They allegedly altered the existing calendar to place themselves at the special year of 1000 AD, creating a phantom time of 297 years that never existed. Illig's hypothesis is based on the scarcity of archaeological evidence that can be reliably dated from the years 614 through 911, the perceived inadequacies of radiometric and dendrochronological methods of dating this period, and the over-reliance of medieval historians on written sources. The phantom time hypothesis is widely dismissed by mainstream historians and scholars. It contradicts verifiable historical and archaeological data from around the world, and the Gregorian calendar we use today, introduced by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582, is widely accepted as accurate. So, what do you think? Are we living in a fabricated timeline?
Still with us? Awesome. Don't stop now. Click on one of our other videos and keep the journey going. There's so much more to uncover, and you won't want to miss it. See you there.